Hello everybody, I'm James Isilay, CEO of Cognism. The ABC of sales, A always, B B, C closing. Always be closing, always be closing. The problem we have these days is that our salespeople are more like hunters rather than closers. We give them tools like LinkedIn Sales Navigator, where they go in and they have to search and hunt for opportunities. The problem with hunting is it takes time, it takes experience, and it's far from closing. We want salespeople to close more opportunities faster and in less time. As a former algorithmic trader and originator at UBS, I saw the ability to tackle this problem algorithmically. We take unstructured data from premium news, social media, government data, and financial data, and we create a structured sales message called a sales trigger. A sales trigger represents a timely event that enhances your ability to sell. So a sales trigger is made up of multiple parts. A time and an organization, much like a financial time series, but also a type, for instance, like a quote, somebody speaking in a newspaper, or somebody changing jobs, and also an individual. A financial time series, the information is created by movement in the order book. For a sales time series, information is created by movement in a social map. So we make a sales trigger actionable by blending that information with prospect information and influencer information. An influencer is somebody in an organization who can help to increase the chance to sell. So for instance, say you're selling a technology product, then it would be the CTO. In order to be able to do this, we have our own social map, and we also need to have an understanding of corporate structure. Our social map's unique in that it also listens into the Cognism stream. For instance, say we see somebody speaking in the newspaper, and that doesn't match up in terms of their job title and name to our social map. We can then investigate that and improve our social map. That gives us a completely different way of building a social map rather than, say, LinkedIn or Facebook. So let's look into an example. Jake is an investment manager, say, in California, and he wants to find clients to invest in his fund. He's looking for a particular demographic in a particular age. We've created a web-based tool that's extremely flexible. You can set up lists and a workflow or a sales pipeline however you'd like. We can then make these lists smart. We add an intelligence, a monitor. So we can say, for instance, please look at all people in California who have just changed jobs, or all people in the San Diego area who are over a certain age who have just changed jobs. The stream listens 24/7 in for that type of trigger, and when it sees a trigger that matches that criteria, it populates with a lead card with the name of that person and all their social profile details. This is our sales stream. So what we've done is we've really created a sales time series. This allows us to push the opportunities to the people. Another way of looking at our data is the timeline view. So a timeline view is a way, instead of Jake having to go and Google for information of his client, we can get a nice listing of all the events that have happened to that prospect organization. So it's a really nice way of preparing for a meeting instead of having your entire team Google and pull together all the information. So right now, in terms of our traction, our main client is the Financial Times. They're a paying customer. They have 3 teams that are using the product right now: a corporate subscriptions team, an ad hoc syndications team, and an engagements team. All cases are very separate and very different. We have a wealth manager in California who's using the tool. They separate a list of high probability prospects who are people who live in their local area, who they can meet, who are of a certain demographic. And then they believe that if they can meet them face-to-face, they have a higher chance of getting them to invest in the fund. And then in the wider California area, people who they have less of a chance to meet. We also have a number of recruiters and engineering companies. And we have a large asset manager in England who's using the timeline view to help prepare for meetings with their top 25 prospects. So I'd like to thank the FinTech Sandbox, who've really helped this project happen. And I'd like to thank our data partners, the Associated Press, Financial Times, Thomson Reuters, Bazinga, and S&P Global Markets Intelligence. We believe that we're really by creating a structured sales message from this data, we're really helping to open up this data for new verticals. For instance, recruiters who wouldn't typically look at this data can now use this data, and that opens this data for them to buy. And then also, if an organization has already purchased these feeds, we're now structuring it so this data is more useful to their sales teams. So thank you, we're Cognism. We push opportunities to your people. If you're interested in accelerating your sales, or you're a data provider who would like to look at how we can help you structure your data better for sales, please come and speak to us at our booth. Thank you.